nice night for a walk.
All right, folks, I've never done, I realize, a walk with the Phoenix TK16 SST-70, and being that this is one of the best lights I've purchased all year, I wanted to do a brief night walk with this wonderful, amazing torch. So let's get started. Street light ain't nothing compared to my TK16. There is something to be said for how much your tastes change. The more lights you buy, you start to get an idea for what you really like and don't like. Compare that to where you first started when you began your flashaholic journey. Now, if you're following my channel, you probably are already a flashaholic, but it's highly possible you're just seeing this through some weird YouTube prompt feed and you decided to click on it. Well, that's fine too. What you will find is very often the people who look at that, it washes out everything. It's so damn bright. That when you start out your flashaholic journey, you're interested in stupid stuff like flashy modes. You think, ooh, I want to be extra prepared, and the strobe feature seems really cool. The SOS feature, you say, ooh, that's cool. And then you say, can it run on AA batteries? And then you realize, before you realize, at first you don't realize that the good lights don't run on those, most of them. And then you say, well, does it have that little glow-in-the-dark ring that lights up when you put it on the desk? You know, is it cheap? Those are the things you ask when you're a non-flashaholic. And then the bug bites you, and you end up into that frame of mind where you become like a pre-flashaholic. It's like pre-diabetes or pre-alcoholism. It's the stage that strikes you right before you go full-on disease-ridden. So what do you say? You say, okay, I want a light that is really bright. I want something with a lot of lumens. I want something that I can show off to my friends. Now, some of those you take with you to flashaholism, but if you're mature about it, you start to realize that lumens aren't everything. Lumens are one thing. UI is where it's really at, and that, in my humble opinion, is what really graduates you from a pre-flashaholic into an actual flashaholic. You start to know that how often you're going to use the light, how often you're going to take it off the shelf, separates you from all of the SWAT people and the tactical junkies that occasionally play with their lights in the line of duty, just because, to someone who knows exactly what you're going to go and grab. Now, sometimes that overlaps. Sometimes you are a SWAT person or a first responder, a firefighter, or a security officer who understands all of what I just said. But some people don't. They want to get the biggest toy. They want to do all the things that the mediocre achievers do. But ultimately, you get a light and you realize that the UI, how quickly and how often it allows you to use it, is the real key. I have the mode switch on the back, the momentary on. That, for me, is why I no longer buy non-regulated, or at least I don't buy very often, non-regulated, non-momentary on, non-dual switch setups, because I find that I won't use them. If they're too big, I won't use them. I'll keep them on the shelf, except when I'm going around on Halloween night with the kiddos or something. Look at that, look at that. It's crazy, this thing. God, this thing. This is the one light I have, even above my throwers, that I'm never not excited about this. With that SST-70, they got the dimensions just right on this reflector to allow it to really, really shine. Every time I see it, because of that, whatever driver they're using pushes it really hard. It gets hot fast. But as a result, if I wanted to, it'll blast you. But if I wanted to turn it down, I would just use the lower modes. No drama involved. So here we go. See, even not being a thrower, it still throws better than most lights that you can carry, because it's bright, but also because the spread makes it really useful to take control of a scene. And for those of you who've never worked in security, who've never broken up fights, or I've worked back in the day, I worked bars, quinceañeras, bus stations, concerts, all sorts of smarmy, sleazy places where you wanted real good protection. And as a result, you got something good. Of course, you bought a few lights you didn't need along the way. You started to buy things and you realize, I'm never going to use this. Put in the comments how many times you bought a light and you didn't realize what you should have realized, and is that you're not going to use it. But about 2 or 3 or 4 times, you're going to show it off. You're going to be bored one day. You're going to take it out, but then you're not going to really care after that, because you're not a seasoned flashaholic. Same thing with tents. You start to realize that all these, you know, 6500, 7000K has some advantage, but then it has some disadvantages. It's harder on the eyes. It's not as good for lighting up details. You realize that as a flashaholic. You don't realize that as a pre-flashaholic or just an average non-flashaholic. The one disservice they did with this light, as excellent as it is they didn't put an exterior charger on the outside, and they should have, because it uses a lot of power fast. So now that wireless charging is a thing even for lights, they should incorporate that into this model on the next release, the next version, because it uses so much power. It would be nice to put it on a charging bay and allow it to look at this. Look how well it lights that field. Look how well. It's just amazing. Look at that. God, I'm so satisfied with this light. All right, friends, I get requests to do more and more beam shots with the same lights I've shown before. Same here, but if you're holding out on this for any reason, you are doing yourself a great disservice. This is a super light. No light so satisfactorily fills the flood throw combo as this light. And I can't tell you that enough. It's absolutely true. Have a good one.